Well, that reminds me of the story told there in the Psalms about how the people of God were fretting over what was going on. Evildoers were in their world, in their path, and they were worried about that. And Moses wrote Psalm 37 just for his fretting friends there in the wilderness. Let me encourage you this morning that God is in control. The evildoers will not win. It may appear at times like they're winning, but they will not win. God will take care of that. I love Psalm 37. Basically, I read a lot Psalm 37, verse 4, which says, "Delight thyself in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart." And that doesn't mean exactly what we may think, because it doesn't mean that if you'll delight yourself in the Lord, well, that's true. If you delight yourself in the Lord, he will give you the desires of your heart, because it'll be what he places in your heart for you to desire. It's a little different when you put God in right perspective. But I was thinking about exactly what this psalm says, and with the song this morning, the Canaanites said, "Let's turn back, although Canaan land is in sight." And Moses said, "No, keep going." I want to encourage you this morning, keep going, Christian. Keep going. Don't quit. Don't even get discouraged and start fretting over what's going on in God's world, not our world, but God created it, and he knows what's happening. Think about what this psalm teaches us and teaches the fretting Israelites. Know the fate of evildoers, verse 2. God knows what they're doing. Don't fret over them. Trust in the Lord, verse 3. Do good, in the latter part of verse 3. Befriend faithfulness, again in verse 3 at the end of it. And then verse 4, delight thyself, or delight yourself in the Lord, and he shall direct or give you the desires of your heart. What we want you to see here is that there's a need to put God first. And when we do, when we remember that he's in control, it gives us a different perspective and outlook on life. Delight yourself in the Lord, verse 4. Then verse 5 says, commit your way to him. And then finally in verse 7, rest in and wait patiently for him. Wow, could I read those one more time? Know the fate of evildoers. Trust in the Lord. Do good. Befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord. Commit your way to him, and rest in and wait patiently for him. Well, you're talking about encouraging words. My goodness. And David was writing that because they were saying, let's turn back. And Moses said, keep going. And David says, we've got to remember, God knows what's going on. He's in charge, and he will take care of it if we'll just trust in him. Well, I hope that'll encourage you a little bit this morning as we go forward. It's not always easy, but if you'll go back and fall back on the Word of God and read it and study it and then pray and ask God to give you clear understanding of it, it's amazing what he can show us in his Word that will encourage us in these days. Yes, I know it's fearful times, it's perilous times, as Paul wrote. The last days will be different, and they are different. But the Word of God does not change, and the promise of God is always faithful. And if you'll trust in him and delight yourself in him, he will put his desires in our hearts, and we will have him then fulfilling this promise of delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Think about that. Trust in him. Delight in him. Know what's going to happen to the evildoers. Don't fret. Commit your way to him, and finally rest in him and wait patiently for his coming. Well, you have a great day today. I hope that'll encourage you a little bit. It did me when I read it this morning, and I hope it will you as well. Then I remembered that song sung by the South Point Quartet, Canaan land is just in sight. And that was kind of a debate going on there between Moses and the children of Israel. They thought they needed to turn back. Moses said, I know what we need to do. We need to keep going. God's leading us, and he'll lead us all the way. Well, have that good day we're talking about, and I hope you'll be encouraged, and I hope to see you next time we have Encouragement with the Johnsons right here on a video like this one. Have a good day now. Bye-bye.